Okay, testing the stream. We are back live now on YouTube. So I have the stream up here on my phone. Say that we are going live right now on YouTube again. I've stopped using the Osmo 3. We are now using the Canon XA60 right there. This is the camera that used to be strapped to the back of my 4Runner, or in the back of my 4Runner, that filmed the on-the-road shots. This is now being used. Now it also can serve as a webcam. And unlike the DJI Osmo 3, is not going to get super hot. The audio that we're using is coming from the mixing board right there. And for people who are watching this on YouTube already, I'm just streaming this on Instagram. The audio is going from the headphone out of the mixing board down through the red cable and up to the transmitter. And the transmitter is over there on the table that's going into the audio in of the PC. So the audio check that you're getting from Instagram is just from the camera. The people who are watching on YouTube are getting the feed directly from the microphone. So we are going to stop the stream here on regular and on Instagram, and then go to the regular stream on Roman. Merry Christmas, everybody. Yes. My Christmas is alone this morning. I do have a party to go to at 4. So it's 1 o'clock. So we've got 3 hours to go before I can be around other people. Merry Christmas. But until then, I am here with you guys. Hello, everybody on Instagram. Merry Christmas, and hello to everybody on YouTube. Merry Christmas to you. Remote is right there. For the people on Instagram, they're getting a close-up shot of Remote. Everybody who's going to NYFB, I'll see you guys there. I'll definitely be at that party for New Year's. And opinions on a Chevy Caprice V8, says someone on Instagram. For everybody watching on Instagram, head over to our second channel, Regular and Roman. The second channel, Regular and Roman. And I also put a link to that on my Blue Sky and also on Twitter, that we are live on YouTube right now. I do see some questions coming in on the YouTube channel. I am going to close the Instagram stream in a moment, and I'll see the rest of you guys on YouTube. So closing this now. Everybody on Instagram, if you're watching this now on Instagram, if you're just getting here on Instagram, you need to go to our second channel, Regular and Roman. You see that there? Rip. Regular and Roman. That is our second YouTube channel. Regular and Roman. Go there, watch the rest of the stream. Regular and Roman. Our second YouTube channel where we do fun and weird stuff. Regular and Roman. Go here. Everybody watching on Instagram, go here. Regular and Roman. What am I saying? Regular and Roman. Remote, what do you think? He says go to Regular and Roman. Go to Regular and Roman on YouTube. That's our second channel. That's where this thing is going live right now. Go on YouTube, Regular and Roman. Not close enough? Regular and Roman. There you go. Regular and Roman. Go to our second YouTube channel. That's where it is. That's where we're streaming right now, Regular and Roman. Go there. Go to our second channel. Go Regular and Roman. Everybody on Instagram, go to Regular and Roman. Ending it now. You want to get your questions answered? Go to Regular and Roman on YouTube. Remote says go to Regular and Roman. Okay, guys? Okay, guys. Go to Regular and Roman. Bye. I suppose I should save this. Regular and Roman on YouTube. Share. Okay? Okay. That's loading. And there's something going on with Netflix. Bert Kreischer, he's everywhere. Oh, and Tom Segura, too. Anyway, we've got Did it load it yet? Did it load my thing? Still loading my thing. I'll get to your questions. I see them way over there on the computer screen, and I'll answer those questions in a little bit. Am I going to put the entire suit on today? I don't know. Maybe. I really need an assistant to do that because then once I put the suit on, I can't see my phone and I can't see what I'm doing. I can't read the chat. So you really need a producer to produce your way through if you're in suit. And that's definitely something I can change in the future in the new studio. Also want to have people around. So, blue. Now I can go to YouTube on my phone and actually see what you guys are typing here. Oh, advertisements. Okay. Racy says, Merry Christmas. Missed the last stream, but wanted to ask you if you have a preference on whether I should get an NC1 or NC2 Miata. Have a gay old time. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, dude. Pick the one that's in better condition. That's it. It's like an S2000, AP1 or AP2. Just whichever one is in better condition. Better deal, better condition. Better ingredients. I'm Papa John's and I'm gay. So that's it. Let me check the audio here. Oh, the audio is awesome. Let me check the audio here. Oh, we're going to go feedback and 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 1, 2 and 1, 2 and feedback and feedback and feedback and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm gay. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Merry Christmas. It's the unce. Merry Christmas. You're gay. Merry Christmas. You're gay. Merry Christmas. You're gay. You're looking at furry porn on Christmas. Furry porn on Christmas. Busting. Hyper busting hyper dicks. Hyper dicks. Go. 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 Hyper busting hyper dicks. Hyper dicks. This is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. Come across the room. Come across the room. A room. Okay. All right, that was fun. Anyway, I could do that for hours. Mr. Regular, who made Remote and how long have you had him? It was made by Sparky, and I've had it since 2019. Mr. Regular, DJ Regular Music Festival Circuit, yeah. Thank you for that so much. Stuff in my teeth. Will I do any live streams at Jim's house or make any shorts while I'm there? I will take the DJI to Jim's house. I have a bottle of wine to go with. I really don't need to be wearing these insulated pants at Jim's house. There's going to be a lot of people there. And I will have the advantage of driving the Honda today, which means I'm going to be warm. That's the funny thing. Driving the Kia, driving the electric car in the wintertime, I'm never completely warm. I have the heat on, I have the heated seat on, I have the heated steering wheel on, and still I need my jacket on and gloves. It still is cold inside that car. It's a weird thing about electric cars in the wintertime. Everything inside the car is cold. There's no latent heat from an engine, so it just sucks. I mean, it's good in the summertime. I mean, the air conditioner is good because the car is not making any heat, but In the wintertime, it just never gets fully warm, kind of like this house I can't wait to move out of. But in the little Honda today with its 600cc engine, excuse me, 660, that heater, I'm doing that thing in the wintertime where you try to take your coat off while driving because the inside of the car is too hot. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not going to have to wear these insulated pants to go to Jim's house. Ellis Cabarra says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. Eric Hahn says, SCR Spec V Banana Yellow, official car of, oh, the SCR Spec V is a Nissan? A million excuses why you can't afford an R32. That's kind of it. I mean, but in reality, an SCR Spec V is a nice little enthusiast car because it's not popular, right? It's just a perfectly normal little enthusiast thing that's fun to drive. Kuro says, I have decided to make poor financial decision. Uh-oh. I just messaged a guy on Facebook Marketplace about an Alfa Romeo. Yeah, it's a pretty bad decision. I mean, everybody needs an Alfa in their life, or so says Top Gear. But I mean, let's take Alfa out of the equation for a second. It is a classic car. You will always be repairing it. It'll never be quite right. But as long as you embrace all the imperfections of it, then it'll be fun. Mr. Regular, when are you going to review the Honda FRV with the Spaceball manual shifter? You pulled a car out of a catalog that I don't know what it is. So I don't know what it is. James says, hey, my daily is a 2022 four-door TRD Pro. Okay, a Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. I want a second vehicle. Thoughts on what I'm considering? An FJ Cruiser, top of my list, a GX460 or a Lifetime. Well, why do you need a second truck? You already have the truck SUV. Why do you want a second one? I mean, I get it. This is going to be, it's like my friend Ben. You got your truck and then you have your nice truck, right? So you want a beat around truck. Well, then fine. If what you really want is an FJ Cruiser, fucking buy an FJ Cruiser. Merry Christmas, Dad, says Cujo with 99 ZAR. I love how you can do various types of currency. But we know because it's a blue square, it's like $2. But still, dollar's a dollar. And it's going to help me pay off my mortgage, right? Beza says, hey, Mr. Regular, I'm looking for the video where you were speaking on the virtue of beauty. Well, that narrows it down. Do you remember what video that was? Because we believe in the virtue of beauty, it is so, or something. That sounds like a Nick Roman line, and that's just general cultural axioms. So you're good. It's probably any of them. So sorry, I don't know which one it is. Text 3 says, if you could review any car ever made, including ones with no remaining copies left, what would you? Well, yeah, I mean, it's still the current Summit car to review is a real Dodge Neon ACR. That's it. That's what I want to get my hands on. It's going to be very difficult to find one. Maybe a Renault Twingo. Renault. Is it Renault or Renault? I heard Top Gear just say Renault. Renault. There's a T in it. Renault. Renault Twingo, or what's the big blobby one that Tony Airlines wants? I forget. Dress says, I know you haven't reviewed a motorcycle in a long time. What are you talking about? We just did an R1. But I just want to get my 1985 VT500C reviewed once it's roadworthy and legal. Well, Text 3 says Renault. Okay, so I'm right with Renault. Euro folks say Renault. Renault Avante, maybe that's it. Yeah, we're gonna do more motorcycles. I have this dream trip out to the Pacific Northwest to go riding with friends. But now that I have this house, or this coming house, it's not um, it's not going to be immediate. Matt says, "Merry Christmas. Where do you see Stellantis specifically the American branch of Stellantis in 5 years?" I think I think it'll still be around in 5 years. Now, Stellantis, Doge, hasn't been an American company in a while. What I predict will happen is the Jeep brand and the Dodge brand, and possibly they'll maybe spin off Ram into its own sort of platform. They will become to the United States what MG became to the United Kingdom. It's not really theirs anymore. It's just a piece of plastic that is slapped to the front of a vehicle that, I don't know, Tata Motors makes, right? There's someone else. That's what I see happening to Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. They'll be just something else. There'll probably be an SRT office in the United States, but it'll stop being an actual car and start being just a sticker that gets put on somebody else's vehicle. I mean, it's fun to say when you see somebody with a modern Jeep, you say nice Fiat, or when you see somebody with a the Dart, you can say nice Fiat to that. It's like the Multi-Air or something or other, right? Why do you not like your current house where you are moving? Okay. Why don't I like this house? One, I don't own it. I rent it from my friend Greg. Two, it's built in like 1870 or 18 whatever. It's cold all the time, right? I have on a shirt, a hoodie, a fleece on top of that, a knit cap, and sometimes when I'm editing, gloves on with the fingers, with the gloveless hands, because every part of me is cold. The thermostat is set to 70 degrees in here, and I'm still cold. Cold air just comes in from everywhere in a house this old. Also, I live in an area that doesn't have, I'm still a young guy in my 40s. That's how old this town is. It's just people walking around looking at the ground. All people do around here is talk about how Reading and Philly is dangerous and you should be grateful you live here. Great. I get to hear these conversations over and over again. It's so boring living here. I need to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours to have any fun. It's been great doing RCR here in the sticks in the Appalachian Mountains for the past 10 years. But all that's left for me now is to just become an old man where every day is the same. I wake up and eat my oatmeal. I edit. I go to the gym. I barely talk to anybody. All people around here want to do is like gossip about who's a liberal. That's it. They're so unimaginative. Their dreams are so provincial and small. I have a hard time relating to anybody who lives around here because it's just family, kids, and network news. That's it. I don't feel I'm learning anything anymore living here. I've discovered everything there is to do in Schuylkill and northern Berks County. I want to move to Montgomery County. I want to be near public transportation where I can go to Philly. I want to be around weirdos. I want to feel excited. I want to live within under an hour to the airport and I can go anywhere I want. I want to be surrounded by the people who run Furrydelphia. I want to be surrounded by the people who run Screenwave and Retroware. I want to be in a place that feels like it has a future. All anybody's doing in Schuylkill County right now is just complaining about how they don't want progress. And even like the tiniest bit of progress. There is some industry moving into this area in the form of logistics. It's warehouses. But even people around here don't even want that. What do they want? They want cream chip beef on toast, the middlest pancakes you've ever eaten, and all they want to do is complain, like I'm complaining right now. So that's why I'm leaving. This house would be okay if there were friends around. Is that a good enough answer? I'm the anti-Rip Van Winkle. Okay. The Dart is an alpha platform. Okay. Eldest says, I live in Kansas and it's not that great here as a gay guy. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, that's the move, divide and conquer. Don't pay attention to economics, don't pay attention to the economy. Blame someone else. And LGBTQ people have always been a wonderful punching bag and a jingle jingle here, look at this, don't look at that. See? Sex. Yeah. Anyone born before 1980 doesn't know anything at all. All they know is buy a house for $3 and complain about people with different opinions and be rude to fast food workers. Yeah. Yep. Blame foreigners who aren't even in the town. I really want to move, but I get so stressed out about moving. Hey, it's an unknown, isn't it? Moving is an unknown for people. But eventually, you just get so sick of it, you realize if I don't leave, I'm just going to become dead inside. Yeah. Eric Hahn says anti-rip. Oh, I already read that one. Boz says, an only missionary position is acceptable. Yeah. People around here have never had a vibrating ass tickler shoved inside their vibrating ass. Yeah. They've never done butt stuff for fun. You know, this is a place, speaking of which, I do need to finally have my prostate exam, but this is a place where people they won't get a prostate exam because they think it'll make them gay. Whenever I go home, it's so weird having to call my partner she all of a sudden because we both decided we can't deal with the rigmarole of explaining non-binary identity to third world boomers. Yep. Missionary position. Yeah. It's outlawed in the Bible, and then coughs 436 times. Yep. It's kind of another reason why I didn't want to go to family Christmas down in Florida. Because all they're going to do is just quote things from the news and say, isn't that terrible? Oh my God, it would be torture. They're not that funny. Anyway. Man, I like Poang chairs. I could do this all day. I wonder what it's like to become old, to be, to have a state of non-thought. There's some old men in this town who go on their front porch, they sit and they stare and they wave at every single car going by. And I'd like to know what it feels like to have no narrative going on in your head. Maybe they have reached some sort of zen where they just see things and things are. Kind of like if you ever saw the movie. Well, no, it was a book. It was that book that they talked about what it might be like to understand the fourth dimension by understanding a world of two dimension, the land of Flatland. But then the Flatlanders came into contact with Lineland, and then and at one point they discovered Pointland, the zero dimension reality where there just one is. There's just one entity, and then that's all there is. Maybe that's what it's like to become one of these old men who just sit in chairs and stare. They simply are, where there's no narrative anymore. There simply is, like a dog waiting to be fed. They sit and are in the moment. They understand leaves and a gutter and a parked car. Here comes the school bus. Oh, school is getting let out. Here comes the postman. Do you have any good news for me? The world is simply today as they regress back into a childhood state. I guess I sort of welcome that in a way, to become simply happy with the moment. One of the most torturous things from my life was being asked by relatives to come and sit. Brian, come in here and sit with us. Brian, can you come in here, please? Just sit with us for a while. And the thought of being requested that is dreadful. You are now trapped. You will now be interrogated. They will ask pointed, every single question they ask will be loaded. They are looking for faults. With smiling eyes, they are all investigators. But maybe from their perspective, they just want to be told a story, to be told information. But to me, it seemed like they are lining me up to be executed with words. You are now on trial by all your mom's friends, and by extension, your mom is now on trial too. Brian, come in here and sit with us. Yep. At least it wasn't Chris Hansen. Nice. Got it. Never doing that when I become an uncle, says Text 3. It was almost in the 90s here in Arizona yesterday. I hate it here. Yeah, I have Kurt, who's been on the show before. Yeah, he's from Arizona. I forget what part of Phoenix. Matthew says it's hot for about half the year, maybe a bit less. Dreth says the Dalai Lama could take lessons from them. Mr. Headcrab says the porch broomers are the next evolution of the puppy boy. I'm not sure what you mean by puppy boy. No thoughts, just empty head. Pat, please. Eldest Kabar says, what's the weather like in the Northeast? I've been thinking about moving to New York or Pennsylvania. Right now, it's probably hovering around the freezing point. Maybe it's a little bit warmer. If it does go above 32 degrees, 0 degrees Celsius, I may take the Nairo to self-service car wash. It was requested that I spray off all the salt before the guys at the out in Kia take it in for its recall. There is a recall on Kia Niros, specifically the Kia Niro EV 2019 to 2022, where some salt water could get in and mess up the electronic emergency brake. And the solution is to take off one bolt or an access bolt and spray a bunch of shmoo in there, silicone lubricant to act as a seal, and that's the solution. Good enough. Although the guy at the desk did tell me that if there is damage, they're just going to replace the whole emergency brake assembly, or rather the electronic emergency brake assembly, not the pads themselves. It was funny, when I was out in Kia, I got recognized by the guy at the parts counter. He didn't recognize my voice or my face, but when he saw my registration, because I register my Kia 2RCR as a company car, he's like, oh shit, you're him? And I'm like, yeah. And then there was a feeling of relaxation that came over me, because now I don't have to be normal around this guy. I can be myself. but the problem is I was myself too much. And I started talking about how the greatest blowjobs I ever got were from men with wedding rings on. And the guy started waving his hands and doing the no, stop talking motion, probably because there were other people at the desk didn't want to hear, some gay guy talking about gay guy stuff. Now, granted, I was talking about oral sex loudly at the parts counter of a Kia dealership. So, take the gayness out of it, and it's just I was just not being polite. I guess I was eager to talk to somebody. Um, Recall at Kia? So shocking. Sam says the state of no thought is seeing underneath the noise of the contamination of our thinking. Okay. Boz says at least you don't have the Telluride where the seat can catch fire. Really? How'd that happen? Had that recall? They forgot to reattach the seat properly. Okay. What time is it? 1:30. 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. So 2 more hours before I have to think about going. I can use up some time by taking the Kia to the car wash and doing the whichever deluxe wash is that sprays underneath the car, cleans off the salt. That's something I could do. Man, Christmas is really boring when there's no one around. Even outside is quiet. Imagine living in this house for the rest of my life. Just endless quiet. Nothing going on. This is what it feels like to go home to my parents' house, which is only a few miles away, to go to the house I grew up in and hear the deafening silence, right? A 4-bedroom house with no one there. The clock in the living room crashing every second. Tick, tick, tick. Where there once was kids running around and friends and bicycles in the driveway, there's now nothing. Just clean furniture, a cupboard full of Chex Mix, a small amount of food in the refrigerator, and a Keurig machine. Tick, tick, tick. Occasionally a car drives by. When someone walks around, you can hear it throughout all floors. The furnace in the basement clicks on and clicks off, and the clock continues to tick. Seconds, minutes, hours. Mom and Dad keeping the house clean and presentable just in case. But the people come by? No. The house remains empty, almost waiting as if another family will come. There's no grandkids. There's no relatives. Tick, tick, tick. The bloodline ends here. Nothing to do but to turn on the news and wait until you're hungry again. Make a salad, add tuna fish, eat it, and then watch the news again. And the clock in the living room keeps ticking. The air is still. The yard is still. The swing set has been taken down, the sandbox filled in, and the pool barely is used anymore. They take the cover off the pool in the summertime and clean it out of ritual. Gotta keep the pool clean. Algae could start growing. Clean the pool, mow the lawn, plant flowers. 2 acres of land, no bicycles or super soakers or water balloons. Just time and the seasons flipping by like an oscillated fan. Winter, spring, summer, fall. The end. Baz with $2.40 says, need to bounce. Merry Christmas, Brian, and everyone. Yeah, sorry. That's people saying that's too real, lovely. Someone gets into the audiobook narration. Damn, that's sad. Well, that's, I suppose, yeah. I mean, that's the emotions I feel when I go to my parents' house. Sam says the winter storm has just passed through bus in Santa Barbara, lost power, gnarly stuff. Where have all the self-serve car washes gone to the tune of Paula Cole? Yeah. Thankfully, this town still has one. I got a pop-up here. It says, let's celebrate the third Super on live stream. Okay. It just says, yay. Okay. Air N with another super chat says, have you watched the movie Mysterious Skin? No, I don't know what it is. What is it? Mr. Headgrab says, Rust Belt ennui. Yes. Oh, I can't wait to be down in Montgomery County. We'll have distant friends. The people I know now in Montgo and Delco and Philadelphia counties are people I just meet once every couple months. I have to try, I know their faces, but I have to put names to the faces, to the point where probably tonight at the party, I'm going to have to take pictures of people and write their names in the pictures so I remember who they are. I'll remember who they are when I permanently live down there. And I look forward to having a revolving door of people coming in, places for me to go to visit and for people to come visit me. And we'll have a wonderful studio called Regular Friends, where lots of people will come over and we'll have plenty of laughs and I'll be able to hear their stories. And in my own way, it's a way to recreate the 90s. I wonder, well, it's my house. I can do whatever I want with it when I get it, is to have the studio in the 70s basement and sort of recreate the video game basement that I grew up in. But it'll probably be the living room because the basement's going to be for parties. Martin Graham says, same here, Brian. I was the last of my 3 siblings out of mom and dad's. Whenever I visit the house, it seems lonely, yet my folks are there. Yeah. I would love to come over on one of these days, says Toyo Kun 1776. Tom says, just joined in. How did you like Australia? Australia was very good. The trip was far, far, far too short. I wished I could have met more. Well, I actually met quite a bit of people. I wish I had more downtime, time for me to just hang out and listen to people's stories. A lot of my time when I wasn't behind a camera or driving a car was spent in diplomatic mode, or mode where I was on, or a mode where I needed to be Mr. Regular, not the kind of introverted, not introverted Brian. I had to put on the mask. Well, had to is the wrong word. Chose to, because I felt that's what people were expecting. They were expecting Mr. Regular and not Brian. But excuse me. It feels like sometimes when I'm not performing or I'm not playing the character I play on YouTube, I feel when I'm at someone else's house that I am in the way. That if I'm not providing a service for them in the form of entertainment, then my presence is a burden to them. Like when I go to parties, I tend to keep moving like I'll move in between people for fear that if people only experience me in short little bits, then they won't become bored and ask me to leave. Now, I know that's not the truth. This is all stuff from my youth coming back. The belief that I'm not good enough as compared to other people. I'm an interloper, even at my old friends' houses. There was always that in the background. I suppose we could always blame our parents. Being compared to my smarter friends. Matt says, I was the last of 4 children. However, I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and most of my siblings and family still live locally. My parents' house is sometimes too chaotic as a result. I can hear that. The swarm of dead insects says, shit, as a neurodivergent person, it's such a feel to need to mask. Yep. Tom says you don't seem to be an introvert. I wonder if I'm efficiently masking. Wait, that feeling isn't normal? Corbin says, your channel is more interesting the more we learn about you. Well, thanks. Christian says, are you aware of the amount of shame you appear to carry? Well, that's a loaded statement, isn't it? Because to respond to it is to say yes. Have you stopped beating your wife? Why were you speeding? Why were you driving that fast? So do I have shame? Well, yeah, obviously I do. It's the shame that I'm not doing what my parents wanted me to do, to become that presentable grandson giving person that they wanted. That just continues their story, not mine. Tom says, how do you balance trips like that? Do you take a couple of days to just do you? Normally, yes, but Australia was so rushed, I didn't really get the chance. You need to be as comfortable as you, not as your character. Yeah. Thomas says, anyway, keep up the amazing work, sir. Thank you. Tech says, fake Geico fan, you have a Liberty PFP. Not sure what that means. It is 1:40 p.m. We can go look at the weather. And now your local weather for Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Current conditions are cloudy. Cloudy conditions will continue for the rest of the day. Wind gusts 10 miles an hour. The low today was 28, with a high of 39 degrees. And on Thursday, sunny, low 25, with a high of 39 degrees. Looking into the weekend, Philadelphia will experience a low of 24 degrees, with a high of 42. And now your local weather for Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Current temperature is 74 degrees with a high of 100. Holy shit, it's going to be 100 degrees in Melbourne today. Low of 68. Currently, it is 4:57 a.m. Oh my goodness, look at that. Melbourne, Australia it's going to have a high of 100 today. Holy moly. There is a warning for Melbourne. Fire warning until 12 a.m. Friday, December 27th. Additional alert, severe weather. Australian Government of Bureau of Meteorology. That's amazing. Look at that. 100 degrees today. Amazing. So it's already tomorrow. Like Christmas was yesterday for Australia, and it's already Boxing Day in Australia. So with 100 degrees, holy schmoly, that's nuts. When's sunset today? 8:44 p.m. Yeah. Oh, that's right, because it's the winter solstice just now for us. So a few days ago, Australia just had longest day. So yeah. Mm. What's going on with Buick these days? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Buick these days. They're still making cars, probably because Buick still means something in Asia. So Buick still exists. Tomo says 75 is perfect, but 100 is too damn much. Yeah. We occasionally will get a high of 100 in Pennsylvania. But because we live in an area where there's lots of vegetation and lots of trees, it's hot, yes, but there's always shade. So, and the wind usually is breezy during those days. So it doesn't really mean a whole heck of a lot. But, if we had 100 degrees for a few days, that would become a problem in Pennsylvania. Swarm of Dead Insects says modern Buicks are basically rebadged Chinese crossovers. I mean, let's be honest. I think that's who the market is. So yeah, I mean, but they're still made by General Motors. PC27 says learning to be gay is one of the greatest videos on YouTube. Just want to give you a hug. Happy holidays from Italy. I think that's Italy. Yeah, thank you. Could be a follow-up to that video, maybe. Australia summer is our winter. Also, Pennsylvania is lovely. Well, thank you. Maybe I should keep this stream going for another 15 minutes. I am all out of water and my throat is hot because I've been talking for quite a bit. 2022 LeSabre with a 455 and no AC. I love these comments that are just like statements. I'm not exactly sure if they're... Now, Brian, don't think it's all about you. They're probably talking to each other. The back is hurting from the chair I'm sitting on. Where's the Tylenol? I wonder how Bill Burr does it. Just has a podcast all by himself. This is awesome. What noises am I hearing right now? I'm hearing the noise of the computer. Maybe I'm hearing the water pump that pumps water throughout the house. That's it. These old houses can get so quiet because if the furnace is not going and there's no other electric motors going, fridge is not on, it's so cold through that door. These houses make no noise at all. It's almost as if it would make a whole lot more sense if there was a fire going in here and having that ambiance in the background. But the fireplaces on these old houses are long gone. Someone says, who's Bill Burr? He's a comedian, unless you're being funny. 28 and still closeted to family and friends, both sexually and being a furry. Living with parents, still living in fear of isolation, grinding along in the monotony of work and not much else. Yeah, I remember my 20s. Just keep saving money. And get on Charles Schwab or something like that and open a Roth IRA and start buying some ETFs. And by that, Just by VOO or VTF. Um, buy some mutual funds. Buy your basic tech stocks, your your Apple, your Amazon, all of those things, and start saving for your retirement. And that is your goal. Also, very basic things. If you don't have a credit card already, buy a very basic one, and just only buy a few things on it. Get a credit rating. The entire goal is to get out, and also work on your career as well, and get good. If you don't know what you want to do with your life, get good at a whole bunch of different things, and pretty soon you can combine all of them, and it'll become a career like mine. Uh, what made you pull the trigger on Puppy? Asked Daily Drivers. The guy texted me one morning while I was naked in bed with a boner, and he came down in price on his own and said, "Would you buy it for this much?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll buy it for that much." So I bought it. My intention is to make a bunch of content with Puppy and then sell it on Cars and Bids and make a profit. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a free car for a little bit. But it also is a very fun car to drive. And I'm driving it tonight down to Philly very slowly. Corbin Necktie says, your hot take Insta Reels are hilarious. Seems like a commentary on the Alpha Bro sort of thing. Yeah, pretty much. Thank you. Montana says, signing off. Merry Christmas, good sir. It was good meeting you at Anthrocon and eating breakfast with you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were probably sitting at a table there at the, I think it was the Homewood Suites. That's where I was staying. Maybe once I get the house paid off, I'll get some hair plugs because I'm thinning all the way up here. Did the Woody influence your decision? Well, yeah, I was comfortable. Wouldn't it be great to have a key car and someone to fraught with in the morning? Well, I can get two of those. I can get one of those things right now. Text 3 says, how far in advance do you plan your video shoots? At least a month, normally 3 months in advance. So, yeah, you're right on, a month or two, sometimes 3. Excuse me. All right. 10 minutes. I'll go spray off the car. Do you hate cheap Mercedes? No. I do want to drive the A class to see what it's like. I'll reserve my feelings for it until afterwards. My plan is to just a swarm of dead insects says my plan is to just go full bald when enough hair falls out from the top, just keeping the beard. Yeah, that's a thing to do. One last thing before I leave. Have you heard of the Monarch of the Monsters? It's a cool prog punk album made by a furry. I think you'd like it a lot. Yeah, send a DM to my Instagram DMs. That's the one I check the most. Oh, excuse me. I've been talking and I'm all out of water. So I'm going to get some more water. I'll be right back. I need a plate. need a plate. Brian, go look for a plate. Go look for a plate. That one's dirty. You don't have a plate, you have a bowl. Bowl is good enough. Bowl is good enough. Where's your cookie? You put your cookie down and now you can't find it. Where's my cookie? Okay. Eating on the mic, it's awesome to do. Daily Driver says, when can we see another sport bike? I adore my 99 CBR here in Philly. I have no plans at the moment to review another one, but I suppose eventually. My friend Drain has a KTM 400. Could do that. I owe him a promo for his furry coffee company. Chip Joke says, estimate the temperature in that room. The temperature in this room, according to the thermostat, is thermostat set at 70 degrees. It is 68 degrees in here according to the thermostat, but according to my body temperature, it's like 64. This is an old house with plaster and lath. It is not well insulated. Cold air just comes in. Great in the summertime. Sucks anytime else. Bruv says, what was the Christmas special car going to be? Our Christmas special is what went up yesterday with Nick's video. So the Christmas specials are, you know, what we got right here. Tomo Kuhn says he's considering the GR Corolla. Okay. I mean, what thoughts do I have that I didn't have when we filmed it? It's a 3-cylinder turbo. What is it, a 1.2? I forget. It is fun, shifty, boosty. It is faster than anything existed in the 90s. If you are going into a GR Corolla and think that you are getting the power of a Focus RS, you're not. This is a smaller vehicle intended to evoke the feeling of the Corolla FX16 from the 80s. You need to do your work as a driver to get power out of it. So if you like shifting, you're going to love this. Lots of manual shifting time. However, it's not the lightest car in the world, because modern cars have to be safe, which is a good thing. But the rompous and bounciness of the 90s or the 80s FX16 doesn't exist with the GR Corolla. It still is a modern car that's a bit Plowy. Ellis Cabrera says, I keep a space heater on my toes. That's a nice thing. On my main chair over there, I have a heating pad I keep on my back. Shattermaid says, Toyota Sienna or Honda Odyssey? Girlfriend and I are considering getting Sienna every single time. Honda, the Odyssey is nice. May be weeping a little bit of oil, but that's the one from the 2000s. But you want my opinion? Toyota Sienna, and you keep it for 20 years. Question says original window frames. No, this has modern windows in it, thankfully. It is sealed up well enough that I don't have to cover the windows with saran wrap, plastic wrap. I don't have to do that. I had to do that at my old apartment, cover the windows to keep the drafts out. That's when you know you're living in an old place. Rob's neighbor says, hello, I have a Revolt, the first ever RAV8. So 2006 RAV4, the 5.3 liter LS, can't remember. Ooh. Okay. Send me a DM about that. DM on Instagram. I'd love to know more about that. Good question from Chip Joke says, why do people in Pennsylvania love Volkswagen? That's a good thing for a short. What's up? Okay. PA Dubbers. The automotive subset of hooning bros that's unique to Pennsylvania. PA Dubbers. That's where you take a Volkswagen from the 2000s, take off one of the quarter panels, buzz off all the paint, get it down to bare metal, pee on it until it rusts, and put it back on. Then sticker bomb another part of the car. Get some nice, offensive bumper stickers or window decals, put them on, and drive in the middle of the lane. And by that, I mean, when there's a 2-lane road with a white dotted, you got 2 lanes going one way, 1 lane going the other way. Well, you're going to drive down the dotted line, taking up both lanes for yourself. You have to get all self-preservation out of your head. You are the greatest person in the world. You literally are the main character, and everyone else is an NPC. Straight pipe your Volkswagen? Of course. You need to get ready to go. You are ready. You're a PA dubber. You're ready to go to jail. You literally will take a simple assault charge over a what are you looking at moment. Your emotional intelligence is so low, you will yeah, we really need to get stuff on Patreon because I got jokes I want to make, but we can't make them anymore. Well, you can, but you just can't get paid to do it. So we need to go. We need to get like Dudes Rock. We need to get like the friendship simulator, and just get that stuff on Patreon. So I can think of so many other things about PA dubbers. I can't wait. I love this Pennsylvania lore. Yeah. Bruv says, I forgot the name, but I know someone with an LS swap 2006 Impala. Interesting. Sienna 100%. I have an ORG transmission, 337,000 miles. Time to blow my nose. Maybe that'll help my phlegm. It tastes great, and my phlegm feels looser. I blow so hard, I need to keep the rag up past my eyebrows, because I may blow snot completely up my face because I blow that hard. Oh, I left the microphone way over there. Is it 2 p.m. yet? Oh, that's a good hook to subscribe to Patreon for. Yeah. Once we get the new podcast, we'll probably have to put an ad in every single one of the main channel videos. Just say, do you want old school regular car reviews that we can get away with stuff we can't get away with on YouTube? Join our Patreon. It's right here. Tomo says I may. What are you talking about? 600 horsepower out of that 3-cylinder? I'm not saying it's impossible. Will you need a completely different cylinder head? I'm now trying to think, like, it is a 300 horsepower 3-cylinder, but you want to double that. You want 200 horsepower per cylinder? So, okay, all right, the engine's out. All the internals are forged. You have a different cylinder head that, I don't know, someone made? You have gigantic connecting rods. The pistons are different. What are you going to spend $25,000 on that engine? And then what? How are you going to get that to the wheels? Are you going to bust your center differential? How's that transmission going to take it? I think that guy's just saying words. Eric Cabrera says, "Can I recommend a TikTok channel on YouTube?" Chat. Yeah, you can. Tomo says, rebuilt with a forged block. Forged block. Okay, so it's a completely different engine. Like, it's not the original block. It's just everything else. It just looks like, okay, fine. Swarm of Dead Insects says, Savage Geese did a series on tuning the Corolla, but they didn't increase the power that much. Oh, okay. Swarm of Dead Insects says, even stockish, the rear differential could be a problem. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's 2 o'clock. Brian, you are going to go to the car wash to spray off the Kia. Thank you, Remote, for joining me throughout all this. Can I actually see my phone if I take off my glasses? Well, typically when I look at my phone, I take off my glasses. Glasses go there. Hat comes off. Hat goes on the radiator. Remote feels weird without a balaclava on. And also, I can barely read the screen. So, what TikTok have they been talking about? Tomo Kud 77.6 is a project for sure. The rear end is where I'm at. Not sure about squeeze. Will be worth it, something. I love her TikToks too. They're nice. What TikToks are they talking about? Think Captain for regularity. I have to find a stronger rear diff. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to find a stronger everything, really. Cities by Diana. Cities by Diana. Okay, you see what I'm doing right now? Where the phone is all the way up to the eye of the head. Like you go to a FurCon, this is what you're gonna see. You're gonna see people with phones like literally like this, just trying to check their messages like that, right? Or you're gonna see this, people looking at the phone through the mouth, like that. Bird has bad eyesight. Yeah, because I mean, normally when I'm wearing this, I'm wearing my contacts, then I have good eyesight, and I can read the phone from out here. So, yeah, I can't really lean my head back in this thing. I also have to over articulate everything I say to make the mouth correctly move. And also, you really don't want to, when you're performing in these things, you really don't want to have your head still like this. You want to over motion, over gesture, everything. Because if you're moving around, the illusion is a little more convincing, right? And also, you can switch off your sentences so you can slightly plan in your head of how you're going to move your jaw to make the head correctly match what you're saying, like that. Tape the phone on the inside of the head, yeah, like that. I have to give some furries respect, but I can't. Wait, what's this guy saying, Tomokud? I have to give you furries some respect, but I can't. Okay, so why would, who is this guy? Are you just saying something? Are you like, is this Tomokun guy legitimately trying to be mean? From a former cosplayer. What? What does that even mean? Mr. Headcrab says, finally a use for Google Glass. Yeah, like legitimately, Google Glass would be freaking awesome right here. To just be able to see or slightly augmented reality a little bit. That would be cool. Super cool. Christian Iceland says, I think you're misreading it. I have to give you furry some respect because I can't do that. So, oh, is that what he mean? Because he literally can't do this sort of thing? Okay. It's an oddly phrased compliment, or it was written poorly. Okay. Yeah, Brub says, I think he means he can't wear a fursuit. All right. Yay, Bird. Yay, it's Tony Airlines. I didn't put the full suit on, but I have the head on, and that's good enough for government work. Avian fursuits are just superior head of fursuits. Yeah, because you can, it can literally hold stuff. You can barely do that with people with muzzles and stuff like that. All right, so that'll be good. Good way to end this. I need to go wash off the Kia and be done with this. And then start thinking about driving to Philly, go Birds. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching this. Thank you for sticking with RCRs throughout all the weirdness. And Merry Christmas to everybody. Have a wonderful day. We may even stream when I'm at Jim's house later today. Sound good? Talk to you later. Bye.